Today on General Hospital, Molly and Christina trade hurtful words, Sam and Dant update one another on their days, and Sunny does a favor for Carly. Sunny shows up at Carly's place late in the evening, and she hopes everything is okay. He assures her that everything is fine. At this hour, Carly figures he must want a favor. He's not here for a favor, he's here to do her a favor. Carly responds, no thanks. Sunny thinks she should hear him out, but she refuses as she is moving on and she's taking care of herself. She tells him whatever his favor is, she doesn't want it. Carly says she has enough going on with Drew in solitary confinement, which Sunny knows about. Carly asks if he can get a message to Drew. Sunny thinks he can do better than that. Carly assumes that's the favor he came to offer. Sunny says he's arranged for Drew to get out of solitary early, and when he's out, Carly can visit him. Carly doesn't know how Drew will feel about Sunny doing this. Sunny says this is a gift to her, not to Drew. She asks if it comes with stipulations. He swears there are none, and she accuses him of doing this in part because she turned his help down at the other night station. He asks if she wants his help or not. She asks him to get Drew out and thanks him. Eddie finds Tracy nursing herself and her head in the Quartermain kitchen. He yells, "Good evening." Tracy groans that it just had to be him. He calls her as drunk as a skunk. Tracy says this wasn't her fault. Someone put too much alcohol in her drinks. He says, some old bartender losing her up for her money. She corrects him and reveals it was his daughter, not that he acknowledges her. Eddie asks why Brooke Lynn would get her drunk. Tracy says she should have known something was up when she saw the tiki torches and fire eater. Eddie thinks it sounds like she had fun. She blasts him for thinking only about being Eddie and having fun. He knows he wants her to pretend to be some hotshot executive. She thinks it's better than him staying out all night, getting arrested, and embarrassing the family. Eddie says he's onto her, and he knows she wants to have him committed. Tracy admits she asked Olivia to commit him because she thought if he got help that he'd stop being Eddie. He yells he is Eddie, and he can't do anything about it. Tracy says that's fine, but she is Ned's mother and will never stop fighting for her son. She wonders why he's so worried about being put away, as Olivia has stated she won't do it. She also asks why is he staying here and not at Sunny's. He says Sunny is nice, but there are too many Goombas around, she says, and there it is. She thinks Ned is still in there somewhere. At Molly and TJ's, Christina doesn't understand why she wasn't invited to the family gathering Molly hosted. Molly says this wasn't about her. This was about her and TJ, and she wanted to share the news they found a surrogate. Christina is happy for her but didn't know they had even started looking for surrogates. Molly says she was going to tell her in the morning, but she just knew that Mom, Sam and Jordan would be happy for them. Christina says, and I wouldn't. Molly says she didn't want it to turn into a discussion of why they hired a surrogate. Christina says since she brought it up, why did they when she offered to carry a child for them? Why would she rather have a stranger have a baby rather than her own sister? Molly explains the surrogate is performing a service. There is a legal contract, and it's a win for the surrogate and her and TJ, as they both get something out of this. She also says the surrogate isn't running around town consumed with starting a youth center while proclaiming how she's helping her poor infertile sister. Christina points out by using the surrogate that Molly won't be related to the baby. Molly says that was mean, and Christina says she didn't mean for it to come out like that. However, she thinks Molly would rather have a baby with a stranger than accept one from her own sister. Molly says it's true, and while she may not be related to the baby, TJ will be the father and that baby will be created for them as a gift. Christina says but if she had it? Molly says it would be hers, a gift from her sister, and nobody would ever forget it. Christina says she never realized how insecure and selfish she was and walks out. At their place, Sam and Dante are about to climb into bed when Dante gets a call. He gets further confirmation that Valentin's car was never at ELP the night Anna's townhouse burned down. After the call they climb into bed, and Dante gives her a kiss. He says no matter what kind of day he has had, he knows she'll make it better at the end of the day. She says when she has a bad day, she thinks about coming home to him and everything melts away. They decide to talk about their days. Sam says Molly and Christina are headed for World War II. She fills him in about Molly's party sans Christina, how Christina offered to be a surrogate but Molly and TJ went with someone else. Sam says it's his turn, so Dant fills her in on the Gladys and Cody drama at the station. He says the whole time that was going on he's also investigating Anna's townhouse burning down. Valentin brings Anna back to the Metro Court, which he calls a temporary home. Anna still notes she has no home to go back to. Anna tries to be thankful that nobody was hurt and knows she needs to move on. Valentin says she's not a machine, she lost her house, and that is a violation. Anna admits losing her house hurts. He says they'll get through this. He promises they'll also find who is after her, and she says then they'll stop them. Later, Anna comes out of the shower and Valentin has wine waiting for her. They toast to getting through this. Valentin changes the subject and says he's going to get season tickets to the New York Ballet for him and Charlotte and would like to get a third ticket for her. As they go to kiss, there is a knock at the door. Valentin and Anna are surprised to see Martin. Valentin promises to deal with this quickly and pushes Martin into the hall to talk. Valentin reminds Martin of the secrecy of this matter, and Martin says he still doesn't know why he insisted on dealing with this tonight and not tomorrow. Martin hands him a thick envelope, and Valentin heads back inside to Anna, who heard the tail end of their exchange through the open door about waiting till the morning. Valentin tells Anna everything is fine, and he has no idea why Martin insisted on dealing with this bit of business tonight instead of tomorrow. Valentin decides to jump in the shower and promises he'll be 5 minutes tops. Before Anna can look at the envelope, Dante calls. Dant feels she needs to know something and tells her that Valentin never came to ELQ the night her house burned down. Also, there is no evidence of a water main break as he claimed. She thanks him for the intel. Anna then grabs the envelope, opens it, and finds Pikeman documents inside addressed to Valentin. When Valentin comes out of the bathroom, Anna is already in bed. When he climbs in and turns off the light, she says, "You lied to me." He's stunned, and she says he told her he'd be 5 minutes in the shower, but took longer. He says the water felt good and kisses her on her head. They get to sleep, but both have their backs turned to one another. Back at Sam and Dante's, Sam can see Dante's bad day is continuing. He says all he can tell her is that Valentin has been dishonest with Anna, which doesn't surprise Sam. She says he's probably up to a lot of shady things. Dante needs to know what he's up to, seeing that his daughter Charlotte is down the hall. Sam doesn't know why he'd lied to Anna, and Dante thinks if Anna can't trust him, then neither should they. At Finn's, he asks his dad about his fall. Gregory tells his son something awful is going on. Finn asks if he's sick, and Gregory confirms he is. He tells Finn that he has ALS. Finn asks if he's certain. Gregory is. He confesses that when he went out of town a few months ago for work he really went to the Mayo Clinic. Finn states that was 6 months ago and asks why he didn't tell him sooner. Gregory tries to explain he wanted to live his life and make happy family memories before everything changed. Finn insists nothing would have changed. Gregory says it already has, as when he looks at Finn he sees it in his eyes, he knows he's dying. Finn feels they could have done things differently these past 6 months had he known, but Gregory says these months have been perfect. He has loved getting to know him and Violet, and is glad to see him and Chase getting along again. He thinks about Violet, and how she will feel when all he can do is sit and stare and not even speak. Finn says to give her more credit. Violet will surprise him. Finn asks about the prognosis. Gregory says he was in the early stages when he went to the Mayo Clinic, but things have progressed rapidly since then. He explains about the tremors and cramps, and how he felt tonight when he lost his balance. He knows he can't hide his disease any longer, and he's ashamed about tonight. He put Violet at risk and should not have offered to take care of her on his own. He thinks he's been trying to convince himself he can beat this thing or hold it off, but that's denial. Finn says this is his disease to handle how he sees fit, but he wishes his dad had someone other than his doctor to talk to. Gregory admits Alexis knows, but he couldn't bring himself to tell his son because he hates seeing the look on his face he has right now. Finn apologizes but says when he looks at him he looks good, and he still sees the strong father he grew up with. Finn also knows what his dad is facing, and he'll be by him every step of the way. Gregory asks Finn to help him tell Chase as this will crush him. Finn says it will, but they'll be there for him. He cries he loves his dad, and Gregory says he loves him too, and they embrace.